Yeah, hold on. All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waharakak Wadash. I want to say give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the elect, Lord willing, we're some of those men and women that believe and fear the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. And this lesson was inspired by um, an incident that Apostle Gabar he mentioned a few times in video, but I was up, so I wanted to put it on wax. And he mentioned about this woman right here. This woman name is Nicole Linton, and she was involved in a 3 years ago. What was about 3 years ago? She was involved in a car accident, killing 6 people, but she didn't die. She didn't really even have a scrape, like a real scratches on her. You know what I'm saying? She was just full of demons. And the woman, she was going like 130 miles an hour, right, in her vehicle. I know on YouTube, some people who posted a video said it was 120, but she was really going 130 miles an hour. And she was, her family claims she was going through a manic episode. And every time, one thing I noticed in this society, whenever men and women, particularly the white man or the black woman or a woman in general, do something, the first thing people run to is mental illness. They like to say, "Oh, they got mental illness." Not that this bitch was just, she was just thrown off. You know what I'm saying? They attribute whatever she had to mental illness. Now she killed 6 people in a car crash, right? And she lived, and now she's in jail, and they haven't even brought this woman to trial yet, right? I guess they still trying to, get the cases together and get her mental health evaluations. And when you look at this demon, you could just tell that she ain't all the way there. And it's crazy because I got a couple pictures of her. I got this one where she was in jail, like when she first got locked up, and then they got this one right here where she was at work, right? You know what I'm saying? And then there's uh, a website called they dedicated to her, where her family dedicated a website to her called Nicole Linton Story. So they basically trying to tell her point of view of the story, right? They trying to tell her point of view of the story, like what happened, why she go through what she went through, right? Making all of these excuses up. And just because you're a professional doesn't mean that you ain't got demons on you. And again, this is the reason why I titled the lesson, we should always pray for our safety. Because when we out here in these streets, right, you out here with a bunch of possessed people, right? This woman was, these people going to work, these people coming home from work, and they're possessed, right? People are on all kinds of drugs, and these people working on you. These so-called manic psychotic people, they're working on people, right? They're in the doctors, they're doctors, they're nurses, they're police officers, they're in the military, right? These people are full of fucking demons and they don't even know it, right? And they either they silently battling or sometimes outwardly battling these demons, and nobody knows except their closest people. Like she shouldn't even been driving a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like this woman should have been Nicole's mental health struggles, Nicole's journey. It's all about her journey as a travel nurse, right? A lot of these women, they want to be nurses because it's a high paying job, and it gives them some type of prosperity and titles and shit. The day of the accident, is there anything the family or Nicole could have done differently? No, because Yahweh Shem Shai wanted them people dead and wanted her locked up. We don't know what she did in her previous life. It's this murder versus manslaughter. So they basically trying to stir the hearts of the people with this website. And then who is Nicole Linton, right? Contact Nicole's family, donate messages of support, right? And so you get these people to making excuses up for people like this. Meanwhile, when men go off and do something, it's just in their nature, it's just violent. But like I said, a lot of these people you dealing with in these streets are full of demons, man. And that's why you're supposed to always pray. Elder Apostle Gabar teaches us, Elder Apostle Rakar teaches us all the time, get on us all the time about praying, right? And it's not really getting on us, it's exalting us to do so, because that's our tool that we have. In fact, since I said that, let's open up with the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, right? Ephesians 6 and 12, right? This is the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against rulers of the darkness rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. So it's a spiritual war going on outside. No man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. That's why I'm Mob Deep. It didn't go like that, but I put a little bit of twist on it. But the point of the matter is, that's what's going on out here, man. It says, in the NLT, it says, for we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers, right? The Rothschilds, the Rockefeller, these elite banking families, they deal with Satan on a high level. And this place is overrun by demons, right? And authorities of the unseen world against mighty powers in the dark world, in this dark world, Saftey. And this world is dark, right? For this woman to be speeding down a damn street like a goddamn speed. Yeah, and so that was all. That was bullshit, because this woman, she purposely did what she did. It was a spirit of death on her, right? So again, when you in these streets, when you walking in these streets, you got to know who you dealing with. You're dealing with people that are highly possessed. They got demons on them. Satan's working with these people at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know it. Look at that shit. Look at this shit. Look how fast she was. You barely see the. She was going so fast you could barely see the car. And then, like I think it's this. It might be this one. They said she had a hand hanging out the car, like she was videotaping what she was doing, right? And there was I think the article that I had up was saying that basically. Let me see if I can open it back up. This article right here. It said that she was looking up stuff about killing herself. What happens, and that's not a person that's got their mind on straight. And again, this is what you're dealing with when you're in these streets. You're dealing with people that are mentally disturbed, what they call mentally disturbed here. In the scriptures is called a person that's has demons on them, right? That need to be exorcised, right? And demons can jump on any of us. And that's why we pray always that Yahweh Shai protect us. We rebuke Satan at all costs, because you never know who you're dealing with out here, what you're dealing with out here. You walk outside, you may not return home. As the scriptures teach us in the book of, where's it at? It says, Lord willing. It says, say, Lord willing. Not that one. Yeah, right here. This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 13. It says, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get again. And that's the mindset of this world, this dark world. People, they don't even say Lord willing. They say they already know in their mind what's going to happen tomorrow. They already know what they're going to do a year from now. People, the woman, she'll simple as, she'll ask you, oh, what's your 5-year plan? It's just something, bitch, I ain't got no 5-year plan. I move day to day. You know what I'm saying? I live day to day. I may not be here in 5 years, right? But these women, they ask these futuristic questions, like so it can bring them some type of ease. bug the fuck out. And then you got men sticking their penis in bitches like this. And then the demons jump on you. And then now it's just a house full of people filled with demons. Demons on you. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to James. It says, go to now ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get again and get gain, Slocky, and get gain. Whereas you know not that what shall be tomorrow. Like you don't know what your fate gonna be tomorrow. In this case, this woman, she killed 6 people. Them people were going, they were just going on with their regular life. None of them walked out the door and threw up a prayer. I guarantee you that didn't happen. Right? The couple, they were going to an appointment with their baby. 2 other girls, they were getting ready to go shopping. And another guy, he was just there and he died. Right? So the unborn baby was in the belly, in the womb, and died. It was something like 3 in one car, 2 in another car, and then another guy died. And then she got no marks on her. Not one. That bitch was sitting on a curb looking like regular. You know, that bitch, like she had, and the reason why, because them demons protected her from dying. Because the Lord had another judgment for her. You know what I'm saying? Whereas ye know not what shall be tomorrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appear for a little time and then vanishes away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, doeth it not, to him it is a sin. Let me read this in the NLT. Right, the same precept, James 4:17, 4 and 14. This is it says, I'll start at 13. It says a warning about self-confidence. Because you got a lot of people there, self-confidence can equal pride. Right? You just know, you just know what you're going to do. You don't know. You don't know what Yahweh Shah has for you day to day. And that's why we supposed to humble ourselves in the sight of the Lord. Right? Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Tahar, Gabar, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Aramlab, Elder Apostle Agar, and even the Bishop Elders, man. They always telling us about Lord willing, say Lord willing, because you don't know. They always pushing that we need to pray, even in these times that we in. You know, every time Apostle Gabar mentions in a video, I always mention, even MC Hammer had a song, we got to pray just to make it today. Right? Back in the day, in the 90s, that was a faithful song, because it was telling you, look, man, there's a higher power that we need to pray to make it today, because you don't know. It says, look here, you who say today or tomorrow we are going to a certain town and will stay there a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It is here a little while and then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live or do this or do that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own plans. Right? There's a saying in the world, what they say, tell God your plans, he's going to laugh at you, man. And all such boasting is evil. Remember, it is a sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. Right? And that's heavy too, because us in this truth, we understand we're supposed to know what to do. Right? And then if you don't do it, right, that's a sin, because you're breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? So it's like again, in this case with Nicole Linton, right? Nicole Linton, right? This woman right here, the so-called nurse, the nurse of death, right? This demon, right? She was plagued with demons, and she couldn't help herself, and she ain't had no man. So she in the house bugging out, walking around buck naked. That's what it said in this thing right here. Her mental health struggles. I think I went to the day of the accident, and they were talking about, her sister was talking about she was walking around naked, random. She just went home, took her clothes off, and walked in front of the screen naked. Right? I'll read a little bit right here. It says, on August 4th, 2022, so this thing happened like 4 years ago, This is an active case, so there is not much I will be able to say about it. It was my other sister, Kim, who was on the video call with Nicole Linton the day of the accident. Kim and Nicole spoke pretty much every day, and she had started to notice that Nikki behaving erratically and saying things that did not make sense. Kim called me 4 minutes before the accident saying she was scared Nicole was having another manic episode. And all these bitches got manic episodes. Elder Apostle Gabar, we say, hey, you want to know the mind of a woman? Go in her bathroom and open up that cabinet and see all them fucking pills and medication she taking. Hopped up on drugs. And then when she ain't hopped up on the drugs, she depressed. She sad. She was, woe is me. She want to die. You know, she want all of this shit. But she's still carrying this load of demons on her. Right? Nicole was having another manic episode. Kim also mentioned to me that Nicole went home for lunch at one point, and it was there while at home. She briefly walked across the screen naked while changing. I just felt I had to clear that part of it due to the misinformation around why and how she was naked. Now, I didn't even hear about her being naked. After lunch, Nicole went back to work and was there for some period in a manic state. So she went back to work in a manic state, bugging out at some point. And it don't just happen to women. You had an incident where recently a pilot, he was high on some fucking mushrooms and he started tweaking in the air. He was trying to crash the plane. Right? Let me show you. Let me see. Pilot high on mushrooms. A pilot, U.S. pilot who took magic mushrooms. Right? This is last year. Look at this Edomite, this bugged out demon. It says a U.S. pilot who took magic mushrooms and tried to cut the engine says behavior unfathomable. Joseph Emerson charged with 83 counts of reckless endangerment because he tried to kill 83 people over an incident in flight in San Francisco. An Alaska Airlines pilot who attempted to shut off the engines of a passenger plane mid-flight after ingesting magic mushrooms said, hey, see, you got these people operating fucking motor vehicles and planes. People are on drugs. People they got demons on them. You don't know. And these people get on the Alaska Airlines. I'd be suing the fuck out of Alaska Airlines, bro. I'd be suing the fuck out of them. Give me $84 million. Right? We could settle out of the court for $250. You know what I'm saying? Because how, nigga? How is this dude capable of operating a plane? Right? Why is he allowed to operate a plane when he's taking magic mushrooms and then he try to turn the engine off and kill people, bro? This dude's a bug out. Like an Alaska Airlines pilot who attempted to shut off the engines of a passenger plane mid-flight after ingesting magic mushrooms said his actions were unfathomable. And some of his first public remarks after he was indicted on 83 counts of reckless endangerment. Damn. It says on Good Morning America, Joseph Emerson, in an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, Joseph Emerson described the events of 22 October as 30 seconds of my life that I wish I could change, and I can't. Yeah, all it takes is 30 seconds, man. Shit, this woman, Nicole Linton, this bitch killed 6 people within 10 seconds, bro. 10 seconds. They were gone. They were out of here, back in the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? Even when I get on a plane, I throw up prayers, bro. Lord, please get me to my destination safe. Please allow us to land safe. Please allow me to have a safe flight. I do that every time I get on a plane. Every time I get on a plane, I throw up a prayer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every time, man. And then I post it if any brothers are available, if you want to get in, you know, when you want to, any of the elder brothers, you know, I did post the link to this live. You could just click in and then, you know, say what you got to say, and you can you know, do what you got to do. But I did post a link up for any brother that wanted to get on it if they had any words. So that's an open invitation, brother. But anyway, let's go back to this. It says Emerson, who was an off-duty pilot, was authorized to ride in the cockpit's jump seat, tried to disable the plane's engine by deploying the fire suppression system, according to federal complaint. The plane, flight number 2059, operated by Horizon Air traveling from Everett, Washington, bound to San Francisco, was diverted to Portland, where it landed safely with more than 80 people on board. After his arrest in Oregon on state counts of attempted murder, Emerson told police he believed he was having a nervous breakdown and thought he was dreaming. Yeah, because you was high on drugs, nigga. When he pulled the fire handle in the cockpit and said he had experimented with psychedelic mushrooms recently as his mental health had worsened. All these people claiming mental health. Claiming, imagine if he shut the engines off and they weren't able to turn them bitches back on. It'll be a whole bunch of people, including this guy, dead. Including this guy, out of there, checked, gone. Right? So these are the people that you're dealing with. When you out here in these streets, you're not dealing with regular people, and we're in the truth. So we're targets for Satan and his minions, man. Right? That's why the Lord said, what? Wise as serpents. Right? This is Slakin. Harmless. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. So you got to be wise when you're moving out in these streets. You got to be wise when you're moving among Jake. You got to be wise when you're moving among these heathens. Right? In the NLT, it says, listen carefully. I'm sending you out like a sheep among wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Have no self-serving agenda. Yeah. Right? You got to know, you got to be circumspect at all. Be circumspect at all times. Let me see if I can find that. Circumspect. Hopefully I spelled it right. Right? Circumspect. And then all this is Exodus chapter 23, verse 13. It says, in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect and make no mention of any other gods, neither let be heard out of their mouth. I thought it was also discernment. That wasn't it. But still, you gotta still be circumspect. What does it mean to be circumspect? Let's look up that definition. Circumspect. All right, and then we'll get back to Nicole Linton. Circumspect is described as someone who is cautious, prudent, carefully considering all circumstances. Yeah, you just can't go into a situation blindly, bro. When you walking and you moving about in this world, you got to really have your thinking cap on, your spiritual garment on, man, because we're dealing with a lot of people out here, bro, that are without. It says, considers all circumstances and potential consequences before acting or speaking. Yeah, because you got people that are getting into an argument with somebody, road rage and shit. You be ready to square up and shit. And then next thing you know, man, you out of here because a nigga got mad. Right? Or you got mad, or you got angry, or they got angry. And you try to meet anger with anger. But your anger can't fight a person that's got 100 demons on them, a legion on them. Right? And that's what this demon had. Right? Then they show you these well manicured pictures of her when she was in the hospital. And she probably was bugging out in the hospital, right? And helping people, walking around the house naked, right? Right? So it says right here, let's go back to this. It says it was around, she's walking around butt naked in the house. It was around 5 p.m. when I found out about the accident after speaking with a social worker who told me that Nicole was still in the ER. She said that they brought her in by ambulance and that it was a four-vehicle accident. She also mentioned that Nicole didn't initially recall the accident and that it wasn't unusual to experience amnesia in an accident. She then told me that she was alert, oriented, speaking, reacted, and everything was good. I have the same phone number since freshman year, and it was the only number Nicole remembered. So even though we hadn't spoken in over a year, Nicole asked the social worker to contact me so I could put her in contact with our other sister. She then told me that there were other people in the accident and that did not survive. And she wasn't sure if they were going to admit her or have her stay in the hospital. At that moment, when I heard some people didn't survive, it never once crossed my mind that Nicole was the cause. I just thought that she was somehow caught up in a pretty bad 4-car pileup. Yeah, this bitch was the cause. She was the cause. She was the cause of cure and execution. Yo, this bitch she's through, bro. She's out of there, bro. Right? And they try to make manicure page for this demon, right? Look at this shit. They show you all the nice pictures of her, right? But this bitch got demons on it. And then a nigga will fall for a bitch like this. Like, you fall for a bitch like this. She got a good job. She looked like something in the face. And then look, the whole time you in the bed with a fucking super demon that'll kill you and kill herself. Right? A message to all those that are affected. Right? So let me play a little bit of this video right here. This bitch is a monster, bro. She's out of fucking pocket, bro.
Heavy.
Hold on. Can brothers hear this? Can y'all hear this? Oh, y'all can't hear it. Lock it. I don't know what's going on with it. Hold on. Can brothers hear this? Hold on, brothers. Stop sharing screen. Share screen. Lock it, brother. Let me see if I can let me rewind this. Rewind this.
Of Nicole Linton and the crash that took place in LA that took the lives of 6 has been weighing heavy on my heart since it happened last week. The video literally tore me up, and when word got out that it was a drunk driving case, I was thinking, okay, this is an open and shut case. Took the lives of 6 has been weighing heavy on my heart since it happened last week. The video literally tore me up, and when word got out that it was a drunk driving case, I was thinking, okay, this is an open and shut case. But then when word changed that Nicole was not intoxicated at all, and instead she suffered from mental health, I said, okay, we
Yeah, you
need to
see,
take it.
that's the first thing. Like, that's the first thing they throw out. Oh, she suffered from mental health. No, that bitch suffered from demons, right? And she was possessed to kill those people, bro. She started tweaking early because the demons were jumping on her. They gathered around, and this is what happens when Yahweh Basham Shai is not with you. This is what happens when you are outside of the tabernacle. This is what happens when you're filled with this world, man. You're open to demons, right? This is exactly what happens, right? Talking about it was mental health. No, it wasn't. It was demons on her for her judgment.
Deep dive into this case because unfortunately, mental health plagues many, and when it's ignored, many lives can be taken, just like what happened in this situation. So, in this video, we're going to do things differently. I took out my intro. This is not tea, this is not gossip. Lives were lost. I always say, y'all are my family. We're going to have a family discussion. We're going to break down the charges, discuss what Miss Linton is facing, pay our respects to the 6 lives that were taken, and try to get down to the bottom of why Miss Linton snapped. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you to please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notification because I will be updating you on everything happening in this case. Nicole Linton is a traveling nurse who's 37 and currently responsible for taking the lives of 6, including an unborn baby, when her Mercedes-Benz plowed into cars at the intersection.
Them black bitches love them Mercedes, man. They love that Mercedes. That's like the Mercedes and the Ultimas, man. Those cars right there, them bitches treat them shits like a goddamn rocket ship. Look at this shit, bro. This is the Mercedes right here, and you can see her hand hanging out of the car, like with the phone on, and she's stepping on it. That bitch, she wasn't having no seizure. Hey, this bitch was fucking. She floored that shit, right?
Section of Windsor Hills, leaving several vehicles on fire. Honestly, I didn't see how anyone.
Mind you, the fucking car flipped and it burst into flames, and the bitch didn't die. I guess that's German engineering for you, right? She did not die. She didn't have a scratch on it, bro.
Section of Windsor Hills, leaving several vehicles on fire. Honestly, I didn't see how anyone survived this horrific accident, but the driver, Nicole Linton, did.
Look, this is her. This is her after the accident, brothers. She ain't bleeding. Her clothes ain't singed. She just there. You see, this is the bitch after the accident, bro. Tell me Satan wasn't on this bitch, man.
Victims of this crash was 23-year-old Asheray Ryan, who was 8 months pregnant, and her 11-month-old son, Alonzo. They were also traveling with her 24-year-old boyfriend, Ronald Lester, and they were on their way to the doctor for an appointment. Two best friends, Lynette and Nathesia, were on their way to the mall to go shopping. Lastly, Craig, I couldn't find much information about him, but condolences to the families. Now, a quote unquote friend of Miss Nicole Linton took to the news station and said that Nicole had been drunk driving and arguing with her boyfriend. However, it turned out to be all lies. Friend of Nicole Linton said that she actually had a mental breakdown at the hospital and the hospital sent her home. That's when the accident ended up happening. But the thing is, when I was actually watching the video of the accident, she had her hand and her phone out the window almost to record the accident. So, was this indeed an accident? These are the things that the prosecution will have to prove in order to know if it was done intentionally. Nicole has been involved in at least 13 accidents, including one in 2020 where two vehicles were totaled.
You see this shit? And these people be driving cars, bro. The bitch was in, she was already in previous accidents. 13, brother. 13. Not one, not two, not three. 13 of them Johns. Let me rewind this. This bitch should not been she should not be allowed to operate, but you got a lot of people operating vehicles with suspended license, a lot of women, because you know the woman drive the car like it's a part of her body. If she angry, she'll run it into a wall. If she angry, she'll hit another car. How many times you see these women use vehicles to run their boyfriend over because he got another woman? Right? How many times you see women operating vehicles high, impaired, drunk, driving, high up on drugs, got demons? It was like her car, she was going so fast, her car was invisible, bro. The people didn't even see it coming. That's how fast she was going. In her Mercedes Benz. Do you want to ride in my Mercedes, boy? Oh, nah, bitch, I don't. You should never let your woman drive either, man. I'll be getting on myself about that when my woman jump in the driver's seat. I'm like, nah, because you drive like a bat out of hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. I'm driving. For you brothers out there with women, don't be letting your woman drive your car, bro. Don't let her drive, especially when you in it. Like, she could get in a passenger seat and drive. You don't let your woman drive you in the car, brother. I'm telling you that from experience, bro. This bitch, her car disappeared. She was going so fast. She was going 130 miles an hour and plowed into these cars that were going through an intersection.
Things that the prosecution will have to prove in order to know if it was done intentionally. Nicole has been involved in at least 13 accidents, including one in 2020 where two vehicles were totaled. Two other incidents happened in Texas, one in 2013 and the other in 2016, where someone rear ended Linton. Reports show that her car was speeding between 80 to 100 miles per hour. And it's crazy that not only did she survive, she was seen getting out of the car and sitting on the curb looking confused and dazed. Her defense is saying that she has had a long battle with mental illness, and this seems to be their alibi.
The DA has commented on the strength of the case, and yet the way this case has been charged, I think, renders that claim somewhat suspect. What we do know so far with the limited discovery is that in the top screen that was performed on Ms. Linton, it came up negative for drugs or for alcohol.
Yeah, she had no drugs, but she had demons. She was high on demons.
There is no indication that she would flee the jurisdiction. She, in fact, does work. She's been referred to as a traveling nurse, but she works here locally in Los Angeles, lives here locally in Los Angeles.
You want this bitch working on you in the hospital, brother? You don't know who's working on you. You don't know who's making your food. You don't know who's counting your money. You don't know anything. You just look at people just walking around and assume people's got their right head on their shoulders, bro. That's another reason why you stay away from a black woman, because she's a conduit for demons, man. She's a conduit.
Nation as a traveling nurse is simply a nurse who is able to find work and work in the nursing capacity in different jurisdictions. That is not an indication that she will flee. I will also add that, and again,
I'll get to another video because they were just talking. Let me play this one.
Jail, and if today's bail hearing is any indication, the trial and arraignment at the end of October will be fraught with emotion. Today, a couple of unusual outbursts from the people in the audience in the courtroom grieving loved ones. A bailiff helped 37-year-old Nicole Linton into her seat in the courtroom. She was limping and used a single crutch. She looked to her left and waved to someone, smiled, then pulled down her mask to mouth, "I love you." But the courtroom was also filled with the loved ones of the dead. Many wore purple T-shirts with the photos of Asheray Ryan, her 11-month-old son Alonzo, and her fiancé, Reynold Lester. In all, the crash killed 6, including Asheray and Reynolds' unborn baby. Linton's attorney argued for her release to a secured mental health treatment facility, in part to figure out if she suffered a loss of consciousness.
Your car, like, damn near disappeared, bro. She hit this car, and I think this car, 1, 2. Man, bro, they were just driving by, bro. Look at this shit. Hold on. Look at this shit, bro.
Part to figure
They were just driving by, bro.
out if she suffered a loss of consciousness before the crash.
And what any doctor honestly would recommend for detection of seizure disorder is an EEG, which was not done. And in fact, the records say specifically that the EEG was being withheld for a later time.
The deputy district attorney detailed car accidents or mental illness episodes dating back to 2008 to counter the defense.
Nowhere in any of the history the court has before it so far is there an indication of seizures, syncope, loss of consciousness of any kind, including during her prior episodes, which might be consistent with mental health.
Before issuing her decision on Linton's bail, the judge cited the prosecution's evidence.
You got women sitting on a bench, bro. This bitch probably hopped up on demons too. This world is fucking sick, bro. And that's why we need Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, bro. You got these women that are extremely emotional. They're non-logical. They're not logical at all. They're full of demons. They get on a rag. They start bugging out, right? You go to this bitch courtroom, and you gotta hope that she having a good day, because this bitch gonna take all her emotions out on you. Women are not in any capacity fit to rule or judge at all, right? This is the book of Job, chapter 39, verse 17. Because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding, right? She don't got that. And you don't like to hear that, but it's the truth, right? This is not us being misogynistic. Like you like to use the word misogynistic means you hate women. We don't hate women. We know they got their roles. That word for wisdom in the Hebrew is hakamah, which is skillful man, wisely. She don't got that. She don't got the skill in war. She don't have the wisdom in administration. She don't have shrewdness and wisdom. She can be guided anyway. And a great example of that is look at Eve. Wisdom and prudence. She don't have that. She don't have wisdom and prudence in religious affairs because she's not spiritual. She's carnal. Just like Esau, she works off her emotions, right? She not even a futurist. She can't even see in the future. She don't look towards the future unless it got something to do with her pleasure and her becoming comfortable, man. Right? Wisdom and ethical and religious. Right. And this woman, she's sitting on a fucking bench and she don't have none of that. Let me see if somebody just popped in. Elder Hawaii. Hey, Shalom Zaquan, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kagadas Ragatha. Shalom, brother. You there? He just popped in.
Shalom Zaquan, Yahweh Shai, Ragatha.
Hey, Shalom Zaquan, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kagadas Ragatha. How you doing, brother?
My computer ain't too loud, is it?
No, you good, brother. You good. Go ahead and do your thing.
You're live going. It's going live. Yeah, I just want to hit something right quick and then, like you say, hit it and quit it.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
I got 2 scriptures. Like, through this, definitely got to be each and every day. Shit, these people got spirits on them, man. So I got just 2 scriptures right quick, if I may.
Go ahead, bring it up. What you got, brother?
This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5.
Let me pull up on the screen, brother.
Yes, Lord.
Zephaniah 3, verse 5.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads, "The just Lord, the righteous Lord, the Lord don't make no mistakes, man." Look, man, the Lord don't make no mistakes. Let us all remember this. Everything that's going forward is being ordained by the Lord. And going right, I got 2 scriptures. I want to go Zephaniah 3 and 5, and I want to go to Zephaniah 2 and 3. And then one more about the spirits created with Venice, because active, man. These people crashing planes, you know what I'm saying? Crashing
Yeah.
trains, cars, you know.
Yeah.
And it's all the judgment of the Lord. That's why we got to be constantly praying to the Lord and we're kind of worthy to speak these things. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it reads, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning will he bring his judgment to light. Every morning the Lord got a spirit created for vengeance. Every morning the Lord sends forth judgment on somebody, somewhere. And it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. We see it. All these different incidents, all these different judgments is to bring more fear upon us, true believers, to let us know, look, we need to fear. The scripture said, don't fear him that can kill the body, but fear him that can do something to the body and the spirit. So that's what we want our people. This video you're doing right now pretty much is a warning for all of us. Pray without ceasing. That judgment is going forth. It is crazy. Mushrooms. You get on a plane, you know what I'm saying? You on mushrooms, now you're trying to delete everybody like you was going into. That's what we all got to be doing. Before we get on the plane, pray. Before we go out the house, pray. Before we lay down, before we eat, all these things, let prayer, you know what I'm saying, be like part of the regimen every day. Zephaniah 5, the just Lord is in the midst thereof, he will not do iniquity. Every morning, if he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So, you know, we see all these judgments. And other people see these judgments going forth. The majority of our people are not going to turn back. The message that you're pushing forth too is repenting too, because begging. And I ain't gonna hold you. I got 2 more, then I'm gonna wrap it up.
God.
This is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3, and it reads, seek ye the Lord. So that's what's bringing forth all the judgment. That's what we need to be praying for. But then you got guys talking about we don't know the name of the Lord. So when it's time to pray, who the fuck are you praying to? The Sky Daddy? It's like crazy, man. We better be pushing forth those proper names in the Hebrew tongue, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. These other Israelite groups playing around, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You're going to be on a plane one day. You're going to be in an Uber one day. You're going to be in a restaurant one day. That spirit creative event is going to come visit you. And then the first thing you're going to say is, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, have mercy. Oh, now you know my name. Now you know my name. Stop playing. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. And it starts off with fear and prayer. I got one more, then I'm going to wrap it up.
Come on, brother. What is it?
If the water for let me be a part of your life too, Zaquan.
Hey, you more than welcome, man. You got an open invitation always, brother.
The waters are going. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's heartfelt, man.
Yeah, come on, brother. What's the precept you want me to go to, brother?
Sirach 39 and 28.
So I got you right here. I got it right here. You got it. You already pulled it up.
Well, you fast.
Yeah, I was already. It was a spirit.
And it reads, there be spirits that are created for vengeance.
That's right. Yeah, it says.
Look, the Lord got spirits created for vengeance, and them, like he was going into the chick driving, deleting all those people. She went on drugs. She went drunk. She was insane in the membrane. Like you said, she didn't have no scars on it. Everybody else deleted. That's how you know there was a spirit creative event. Everybody gets deleted. And this spirit right here ain't got no scars, no nothing, no black eye, no missing teeth, no broken bones. I'm saying, I better fear the Lord. Somebody head out the door, no saying in a couple seconds. So I get off the live and get my daily bread. Lord's will. That's what we say. Lord's will, we do this. Lord's will, we do that, right? So right to the 39, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Jeffrey Dahmer, the dude flying that plane, the girl, you know what I'm saying, driving that car, I was going to say Al Bundy, but Ted Bundy, all these crazies out there, man. And like you said, females too. They ain't just men, it's females too, right? I might got one more to go on after this.
You got it, brother.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury, they don't sow strokes. At the time of destruction, they part their force and appease the wrath of them that made them. And we're praying that we kind of worthy to escape them. Creative event. They out there right about now, Wilder.
Yep.
The spirit's fire. Fire is a spirit creative event. I'm gonna take down a little bit. It says fire and hell, verse 29. Fire and hell and famine, death. All these were creative vengeance. That's why we better fear the Lord, man. He got all these things. It says teeth of wild beasts, animals, to rip people to shreds. That's what we constantly praying. Oh, yeah, and the Lord said he hear the prayers of the righteous, but those that do evil, his face is against. It says, teeth of wild beasts, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and they shall not transgress his word. So those spirits created for vision, when they go out and they're trying to get the green light on whoever, they're not going to say, oh, yeah, that's a beautiful woman, Lord. I can't do it today. That's a baby. I can't do it today. That dude right there can shoot basketball real good. I can't do him like that, Lord. He got a hit. He got a number one hit on the face of earth. I can't. You want me to do him? Angels ain't saying that. Those spirits created vision, they're not saying that. They're going to get the job done. That's why we don't want to piss the Lord off. Do what is right, as the scriptures say, to the best of our ability. I got one more, then I'm gonna roll out.
John, brother. What do you want me to go to?
Going right into what you're going into. It's all prophecy. We're prophecy. That's what the scriptures call us the prophecy. We're prophesying. We're telling you what's going to happen before it even happens. Let's get then I'm gonna roll out once again. The water's off. Let me be aboard.
Loud the bar, brother. Loud the bar.
Psalms 55 and 16. As for me, I will call upon Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus. And going right back to Jeremiah the 10th chapter, verse 10, the whole earth is going to fear the wrath of the Lord eventually. It says, and the Lord shall save me. That's our prayer right there. Call on the Lord willing, and hopefully we'll be saved. We'll be of that number to be saved from these horrible events. It's taking place right now. And much more that fire, you know what I'm saying? The concentrated fire coming from the spaceships when Lord Yahweh Shai coming back, right? World War III, the famine, the issuing in of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, the micro C chip, constantly praying that we're kind of worthy to escape all these things. We better be getting our prayer as we collect, right? Evening and morning and at noon will I pray, beg. Because these judgments are happening in the morning. These judgments are happening in the evening. These judgments are happening at noon. All we need to be praying. It says, evening and morning and at noon will I pray, meaning beg, and cry loud, and he shall hear my voice. Because you don't know when the Lord will have a spirit created with vengeance. We hop in a car, we hop on a plane, we walking down the street at our job. We better be praying everywhere at the park, you know what I'm saying? And wherever we at, we better be praying and pray for each other too. Pray for the whole collective. This is my times of calling. Lord willing, we'll visit something else again, man. If you know what I'm saying, want me to come in, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, if I got time, you know what I'm saying, I jump on the Lord's will.
All right, my brother. Lord willing, man, we'll link up, man. Shalom, Zaquan.
Lord willing, Zaquan, you have a small shop, Barak. Shalom.
Shalom, brother. Yeah, man. And so, yeah, the water, that was well needed, you know, alley hoop right there. The brother Zaquan, he Elder Hawaii, he put it down, man. You know what I'm saying? Spirit is moving, brothers. That mean that's showing us the spirit is moving, bro. Spirit of Yahweh Shai is not playing, right? You like he brought out in Ecclesiasticus that there be spirits that set up to do these things, and people don't know that. You think that this is just a carnal world, and it's just full of people who who are doing their own thing, right? But in reality, you're being guided every day by the spirits and power. By the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Let me get that real quick, right? What is this? Oh wow, let me see. I know it's in Job. This is Job. Yep, Job 33 and 15. 14. It says, for the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumbering upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions. Right? So here it is. When you sleep and you get your instructions that you're about to carry out for the next day. Right? And you don't know that, you just do it because you're guided by the spirit and power of the Lord. Right? That's what the Lord is doing. Right? And in sleep, he do that. Right? So you're not doing your own thing. You might think you are. See, Esau teach you about free will. Christians quick to say that God gave us free will. You ain't got no fucking free will. Right? Scripture says man's going is of the Lord. How therefore can a man know his own way? 1 minute you look sound, 1 minute you look like you are a professional, and the next minute You in the courthouse with fucking jail clothes on because you done lost your fucking mind. And Esau sit up there like she's guiltless, like, oh, I would never do that. Nah, bitch, you a demon. Women judging women. And you're giving all these mitigated circumstances, right? Mental health, seizures, disorder, all this kind of other weird shit. And then she don't even know. She's so fucked up in the head, she don't even know what she did. Right? She don't even know. Let me see if this will put it.
From Linton's black Mercedes. Data analysis showed she floored the gas pedal for at least 5 seconds, accelerating from 122 miles an hour to 130. Then she maintained control of the steering wheel to move in the direction of the crowded intersection.
Let me rewind this. Check this out. Let me rewind this. So she knew what she was possessed by this demon.
From 122 miles an
hour. She was possessed by this demon, and it was controlling her body, controlling her. So controlling her body. But guess what? She got to live with the consequences, not the demon. After the demon that jumped on her, put the spirit on her to do what she do, she was getting judged after that. Right? After she was possessed, she got to live with the consequences of that action, because Esau not a spiritual man. He don't say, well, she was possessed by demons. You know, she repented now. Nah. Now she got to go to jail because that's her judgment. She did something in this life or in her past life. And that's her. This is her judgment. That was those people in the car judgment. This is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Right? Nobody perished being innocent. Let me see what this says in the commentary. David Guzik. Job 4 and 7. Right here it says, remember, I pray you, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? The whoever perished being innocent, here Eliphaz came to the heart of his argument. He boldly said that Job was guilty of some sin because the innocent do not suffer, as he had, and the upright are not cut off as he was. In context, cut off means to be forsaken by the Most High, which Eliphaz, he was speaking wrong, because Job wasn't forsaken of the Most High. In goodness, later in Israel, it would often mean to be executed, right? So here it is. Here it is. Nobody, but the point of the matter is that nobody perishes innocently, right? Shall he not do evil, right? Shall he not? Slack it. This is I thought it was in Job 2. Yeah, Job 34. Let me see, Job. Let me see. Job. No. Salakia, brother. Just bear with me. There's a scripture. One of you brothers can help me out. I know it's in Job. He was talking to his wife. He said, shall the Most High do good? Shall he not do evil? You can help me out. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, let's go back to this video right here.
Floored the gas pedal for at least 5 seconds, accelerating from 122 miles an hour to 130. Then she maintained control of the steering wheel to move in the direction of the crowded intersection.
She stole 6 innocent lives. It is reasonable to assume that those victims died horrific deaths by burning or being crushed to death.
Without any admonition to the courtroom observers, she rendered her decision.
If convicted, she faces upwards of 90 years to life in state prison. This is a strong motive to flee. The defendant will be held on no bail.
And anyone that's been in a courtroom knows that applause is not allowed.
Yeah. She got judged, man. Right? I'm trying to find it. Just bear with me. It's on my spirit to want to find it. Job tells his wife. Job tells his wife. God. This is Job 2:10. Yeah, Job 2:10. The Wadi how about Shah. It's the book of Job, chapter 2, verse 10. Job chapter 2, verse 10. Right? And it says, I'll read up. Verse 9. It says, Job 2:9, because your woman, she's full of simplicity, right? And she can only see things that are in front of her. Right? He says, then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. In the NLT, in the AMP, it says, but Job replied, you talk like a foolish woman. Shall we accept only good things from the hand of the Most High and never anything bad? So in all this, Job said nothing wrong, right? In the AMP, it says, but he said to her, you speak as one of the spiritually foolish women speak, right? Ignorant and oblivious of the Most High's will. And that's most women. That's all these women, right? Particularly most women, right? Except for you sisters that's coming back, humbly and you listening. But for the most part, the women out here, they move foolishly and they are oblivious at the Most High's will. That's why when somebody die, the first thing they say is, oh, Satan did this. The devil did it. The devil's a lie. They blame everything on Satan, right? But Satan don't got the power to take away your wife unless the Lord give him that deal. And he don't have to have Satan do it. He can have another spirit do it, right? Because it's really the Lord that's doing it, right? The scripture says what? Life and death come from, I know it's in Samuel. KJV. I know it's one in Samuel's, first Samuel 26. Let me see if I can find it. First Samuel. If not first, it's got to be Second Samuel. Second Samuel 2 and 6. So it got to be First Samuel. First Samuel 2 verse 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Right? Yahweh Shem Shai maketh poor and maketh rich and bringeth low and lifteth up. All these things come from Yahweh Shem Shai, bro. They don't come from man. They don't come from because you worked hard and you did a good thing and now you're where you at, or you in a impoverished state, right? It's all judgment. Life and death, it comes from Yahweh Shem Shai, right? So again, this woman, she had these spirits on her, and it set her up to do what? To destroy, right? And none of these people are innocent. Not the people that perish, and neither is she. Even though she didn't know them people, Yahweh Shem Shai knew them people. That goes for that little newborn baby, the unborn baby, the mom, the dad, them two girls that was walking, right? All three of them people, all six of them people died because it was a judgment of the Lord, right? So I want to read this real quick. It says right here. It says right here, investigators determined that Linton's black Mercedes-Benz was traveling at 130 miles per hour at the time of her crash, which occurred after the vehicle went through the red light. The collision and its fiery aftermath were caught on surveillance videotape from a nearby business. It says, I'm gonna skip down. It says CHP Patrol Officer Jerry Crane testified that there were multiple curves along La Brea in which a driver would have to steer and maintain their position on the road, and said investigators obtained surveillance video from the businesses that showed a vehicle consistent with Linton's 2018 Mercedes-Benz appeared to be speeding up, saying that he estimated the initial speed at 55 miles per hour at that point less than 20 seconds before the crash, and then 64 miles per hour. He said it took the vehicle 17 seconds to travel a half a mile. something that should have taken 40 seconds in a 45 miles per hour zone. It says Crane noted that the light was red for about 15 seconds before the crash. It's graphic, he said, as he redacted as he said of a redacted photo taken of the collision. It says right here, it says prosecutors called Linton a ticking time bomb. And that's what most of these people are out here, especially the nigga women, bro. A ticking time bomb, bro. For real. People out here, they loaded and ready to go. The prosecutor called Linton a ticking time bomb, saying that she got behind the wheel of her car even though she was well aware of her triggers, including stress and a lack of sleep, based on her prior conduct that included jumping on a Houston police officer's patrol car. She's a bug out. How was she able to keep her license to be a nurse? She jumped on a cop car, bro. Based on her prior conduct that included jumping on a Houston police officer's patrol car in 2018. She had stopped taking her medication before beginning work as a travel nurse, the prosecutor said. Linton's online searches about death being near were evidence that she was actively considering the act of suicide, right? When she ain't die, because the Lord he ain't require her spirit that day. The judge noted that evidence involving Linton's prior incidents involved her anger turning into aggression, saying that she left a luncheon at Kaiser Permanente, West Los Angeles Medical Center the day of the crash while she was stressed and having all these symptoms that trigger her anger. That triggers her anger. This bitch is a fucking cannonball, bro. A wrecking ball. Hunter said that the defendant knew that she was undergoing EEG testing suggested after the crash by doctors to determine if she suffered from seizures, and that she had certain movements and gestures while being triggered during the testing, but that the raw data indicated that there was no seizure. I don't know if they're malingering, but an argument can certainly be made for that, the judge said, noting that the defendant had acknowledged lying in other instances. Linton burst into tears during the second day of her hearing when witnesses described seeing a large black cloud in front of me after hearing what sounded like a bomb or something of that nature, seeing what it looked like, something out of those apocalyptic movies, man. And that shit did look apocalyptic, bro. The way she smashed and dashed that damn car, all them cars, bro. This bitch was under. Yeah, man. Elder Apostle. I know Elder Apostle Bar gonna do a video on this. I ain't mean to, try to beat him to the punch. It was just on my spirit to do this lesson, man, because yeah, that bitch, she was driving a missile, man. And you got to be careful out here, man. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself, man? And you got a lot of people that do that, right? It says, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? And she was talking about killing herself and destroying, she wanted to die, right? According to her, right? This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 1:12. Seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hand. And that's wisdom. You ain't supposed to do that. And let's see what this says in the G&T, Wisdom of Solomon 1:12, right? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1, verse 12, right? It says, do not bring on your own death by sinful actions. The Most High did not invent death, and when living creatures die, it gives him no pleasure because death comes from sin, right? And then people are like, well, them babies ain't sin. Well, we don't know what they did in their previous life. Nobody knows. But Yahweh Shema Shai knows. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what homeboy in the car was doing with his woman, what they've been doing, what the shit that he was up to. We don't know if that nigga had open cases for shooting people, being a gang member, selling dope. We don't know if she was committing adultery, doing the same thing. You don't know none of that, because that wisdom ain't for you to know. It's for Yahweh Shema Shai and those that are initiated and its understanding. But the point of the matter is, seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your with the works of your hands. And they said old girl was looking for she was looking for, you know what I'm saying? She was looking for, you know, what happens when death is near. And you can tell she got that 1,000-yard stare, right? Just bugged the fuck out, man. And now she done came down off of the drugs and off of the demons. Now she got to live with that shit, right? She might die in a can. Like you talking about 90 years to life in prison. She ain't never coming home. Her days of being a traveling nurse are over, right? So, and that's another thing. You don't know. All the stuff that you doing could be your last time doing it. You taking all these trips and you taking these pictures and you on social media. You talking to your family every fucking day. It could be your last time, bro. And you be in a can. You be in a fucking can, right? Or you be in cuffs crying, talking about some, I don't know why I was doing magic mushrooms. I don't know why. It's the worst 30 seconds of my life. All it takes is 30 seconds, bro, to end everything, even less. Right? Dude said I did something unfathomable. I did something unfathomable to me, something I have to take responsibility for, and I regret it. He said, well, that's because you ain't got no out. You can't, who you gonna blame, nigga? You took the drugs and got on the plane. You can't blame nobody. You gotta take it. You gotta take that L, man. And Esau is losing, and a nigga woman is losing. And again, these are just examples of many people that's out there that's doing this stuff. They possess, bro. So, you know, the last scripture I got is 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. In all things, give thanks to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Pray, man. And who the hell is this person right here, man? He's spamming they spam anybody. It says what? Yada Yahuwah Alua is our only heavenly creator, Savior, Father, Redeemer, and no one else. Full stop, period, road. I said, hey, somebody delete this person up off of here. Any brother that got the wrench, ain't nobody got a wrench? I got a wrench. Let me get this person the fuck up out of here, bro. Get the hell up out of here with that stupidness, man. And they're just spamming, right? They're just spamming. Put this person on a 24-hour. He's out of there. Out of there, bro. We don't need none of this. We don't need none of that. We ain't pressed for no comments about nothing. And the Most High's name is Yahweh. His only begotten son name is Yahweh Shai. Right? I don't know who the fuck is Yada Yahuwah Alua is. Come on, man. You niggas are fucking weirdos, bro. So again, pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. And everything give thanks. For this is the will of our power in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai concerning you, man. Thank the Lord for waking you up every day. Thank Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for giving you the spirit to be in his truth and push this word. Thank Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for the things that he's taking away. A lot of times Jake think about the things that are taken away from you, like you're gonna miss something. But in reality, those things could have hindered you in your walk. So thank the Lord for the things that he's taken away from you, that they don't hinder you. Thank Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for giving us a pure heart. Thank Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for giving us the opportunity to preach this word, right, and do the job of a prophet, do the job of a brother, do the job of a help. Whatever office you have in this truth, be thankful for it. Right? Don't look at another brother's office and covet after that. Even though the scriptures do say if you want to covet after anything, covet after prophecy, covet that you should prophesy. But the point of the matter is, just be thankful that we in this truth and not in the world, because this is what's out there in the world: darkness, gross darkness to people. Right? Be mindful. Right? Be content. And again, in all things, give praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Pray, bro, and do it sincerely. And it ain't got to be no long outdrawn prayer. Just get the Lord thanks, man, because you could have been somewhere else. So this is why we should pray always for our safety, and not only our safety, but the safety of our apostles and bishop elders and all the brothers and sisters around the world that believe in the faith of Yahweh Shai. Right? Pray to Yahweh Shai. So with that, I'm going to say shalom and on to the next. Hey, shalom.